And we're back for day number 4 of the Summit 2 by G2A.com. I'm LD, your host, and it's time for Newbee versus LGD Gaming. Newbee currently atop the groups. They're 3-0. Meanwhile, LGD Gaming looking decent so far, 2-1. Only the top 4 go to the playoffs in China, and only the first place team comes to the LAN finals in LA. With that said, I'm not alone. I am joined here by my old friend Winter. Hey Winter, how you doing?
I'm not that old, okay? I only know you for 2 years. It's not that old. You make me sound like I know you for 10 years.
You're an old friend, though. You're old. You're what, like 30 years old now or something? You see?
Possibly.
The other old Winter.
Possibly.
The old man fear has nothing on you, that's for sure.
How about the old man team in China?
Yeah, they're. It's funny because none of them are really that old, but they've been playing Dota for so long, they feel old. Well, these are some old picks at this point. I'm ready for something fully fresh, but it seems we're not really getting it just yet. LGD Gaming, go with the first pick, Brew. And, well, there'll be a Centauri apparition reply from Newbee. Nothing too unusual. The Doom is selected. I know you always call Doom, or Centaur basically the Doom counter, Winter, but well, they're going to pick it after the Centaur's snapped up.
Just doom the centaur. I mean, that's the way you avoid that from happening.
That's true. Yeah, of course, if you're dooming him and they have someone else important, then you could be in trouble. But for now, there's not really another big impact hero. They'll have 3 more slots to try and secure that, and LGD are a bit worried about this global strat. They're going to ban out the Spectre. There is still that Zeus, the Nature's Prophet. If they really wanted to go that direction, Newbee still have some options available.
Probably Invoker, but how long has it been since we last saw bans on Anti-Mage and Spectre in the same game?
It's been a while, but I saw a new way to play Anti-Mage. It was 2 or 3 days ago. I think you probably saw this game as well,
Yeah,
the Crimson Guard Manta build.
You told me yesterday, but I haven't tried it out, so I don't know how effective it is.
It was against... Or no, it was with a Medusa on the same team, but I don't think it will work if you're trying to run like a traditional 1-position anti-mage, but maybe if you're running 2 or 3 cores, it could work. I'm not sure, but either way, it's banned, so we're not going to get to see it this game. And now the Razor ban out by LGD.
They're just going to probably pick very standard stuff. Like, I think Invoker, or maybe even the Rubik, just to set up for the Centaur, and there's Doom to steal, and there's Brewmaster Split to steal.
Yeah, Rubik would be quite good this game, and Newbee is going to have that first pick coming out of this phase, so if they want to go that direction, they'd have their support secured, and at that point, well, what do they run? What do you think they run for a core here? It's kind of tricky. You're up against the Doom, so I guess you have the Stampede to disengage in theory, but it's not always going to be available.
Usually you say Wraith King because you have 2 lives, but I feel that Wraith King as like a position 1 is what he can do is very limited to the game.
Could be a support Wraith King. That wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, support Wraith King is decent. I mean, against the Doom, and you can also farm into a core later on, so you have 4 heroes that can fight. It's not a bad idea against the Doom.
What else have we seen lately? There's that Legion Commander, which is randomly getting picked up here or there, but both teams have their offlaners, so...
I feel sad when I hear Legion Commander. Every time I see that hero...
Actually, after yesterday, maybe nobody in China will pick it ever again. That was a terrible day for Legion Commander players everywhere.
Yeah, it was really difficult game. But it's against the Brew though, so maybe they just do like a Bristleback. Usually they'll just pick Bristleback against Brewmaster. Or they have something else like a task to counter the Brew split. They usually pick some stuff like this to actually slow the ultimate down.
Yeah, Bristleback would definitely be good. We've seen that before, and well, especially with Doom no longer disabling passives, it's not nearly as potent against the Bristle until you get your Aghanimps, but that's a long way out. It's a Sand Cane pickup for Newbee. This has been one of the premier supports in China lately, and I'm honestly surprised we don't even see teams pick him up more in the first phase, just because teams aren't really doing much to contest your jungle in general. We see a lot of dual lanes, not a lot of two-man aggressive tri-lanes or dual roam strats, and that's where Sand Canes get room to farm and stack their jungle, so... Well, I think he's a bargain, honestly, at this third pick.
I think you can actually do it when the enemy has Doom, which is most likely an off lane where the enemy can't actually have an aggressive tri lane against you most of the time when they pick Doom. Usually you hardly see Doom plus another two supports pressuring your lane, so you would most likely get to jungle your Sand King pretty safely if the enemy has Doom.
What do you think Hal's gonna be playing this game? We saw his Ember yesterday, but I feel that's just not the best choice against this Doom.
Maybe well, what is the best choice against Doom? Doom kills everyone. Apart from maybe
Morphline's not bad if you get your Morph off. He's pretty good.
True. Morphling is decent.
Viper is okay. Like tanky cores are okay, but Razor's banned as well.
They want someone to have damage since they already have Centaur and Sand King.
You probably want a BKB carrier as well. Even though there's a Doom, like you're up against a Disruptor, so.
Yeah, BKB is quite good against the Brew nowadays because of you block the pulverize damage. Is that called pulverize?
Well, there's
Yeah,
always the built-in BKB, the How Life Stealer. Although you are against Doom, I still think it's not a bad choice.
Well, if you think about it, okay, never mind. Juggernaut has healing ward, so you can help your team when you get doomed. But he's more of a very pushing type of carry though. Means that they want to do something very early on. They're not going to pick I don't think they'll pick any like a hero like Anti-Mage or Morphling to farm so much.
Yeah, also obviously great against Glimpse. You get Glimpse, you just Blade Fury and you're absolutely fine. So LGD fourth pick here.
Yeah, maybe you're right about the Viper. The lineup seems really good with Viper, Juggernaut, Centaur and Viper, and they can do a lot of stuff if they even want to go a tri-lane against them because Disruptor is not very strong early game. They can have a tri-lane with Juggernaut, Sand King A, but that's very unlikely.
Yeah, the ES comes off the board, and along the lines of Sand King, these two are just getting picked almost every game right now. I'm surprised that we don't see them banned even more, but in general, Winter, like you look at the bans and how they've evolved in this version, it's a lot more carries that get banned. Not too many supports anymore.
Because you can pick so many carries nowadays with the patch.
Yeah, it's just supports a very carry-centric patch. Yeah, you could always get away with 3 or 4.
Supports are like you will almost only see Scaraf getting picked out or banned, by the way, because he's the best for the current meta. He suits in so many types of strategy, and 2-1-2 is suitable for Scaraf as well, and he can zone alone and has a lot of burst damage.
And now the Naga ban out. So most of the rat now removed from the table. And LGD looking for that 5th hero to kind of pull this together. They really don't have much physical damage. And I wonder if they're going to... Well, I say that actually, but I don't know if you saw 430's Brewmaster earlier today. There was a very, very clowny game between IG and Light Gaming, but he ended the game with an Abyssal Blade, an Assault Caress, and he wasn't even really using his Primal Split. It was like bad to use it because he right-clicked so hard. So I say they don't have right-click, but in theory, I guess Brewmaster can provide it if it gets to that stage of the game.
I'm actually thinking maybe Slug would be good as well in this sub game. There's like Sand King and Centaur stuns, but Slug can actually...
Yeah, for LGD it could be quite good.
Yeah, it can Dark Pack away from it, and Slug is very good versus Juggernaut.
Yeah, well, if Newbee do go for the Viper, of course that's not something you could Dark Pact off, the Viper Strike, so it's still pretty annoying. But Newbee go Night Stalker. It's not really a full face rush lineup, but it's a tanky core.
I think it's a full face rush lineup. You look at their lineup, Juggernaut, Night Stalker, and Centaur. 3 of these cores, they want to get next to you and kill you.
Yeah, I mean, Juggernaut's not really that tanky, nor is he that fast, but it's most of a face rush.
Yeah, but early game when you spin in, there's almost nothing they can do unless they doom you or something like that. When you spin in, is mostly everyone has to run, especially the supports.
I actually And I like Night Stalker this game because he's still
Silence.
yeah, you have the silence. He's also very tanky. Even if you doom him, it doesn't really affect him that much. It's not like he's got a really big spell that he needs to cast. Void and the Silence are nice, not the end of the world, and he's still incredibly fast and durable. So I think it's a good Night Stalker game. I very rarely would ever say that. I normally look at Night Stalker pick like, how are you gonna lane this? But that is still the slight issue. Is will Mu be able to snowball? His Night Stalker is legendary over the history of Chinese Dota, but I dare I say it, Winter? I think it's been like 6 months or more since he's even played it, or if not since he's played it, then certainly since he's had a big game on it.
Yeah, he's gonna have to silence. I think there's too many targets for him to silence though. Like, you need to silence the Brew, the Doom, even the Slug.
Okay, I do want to mention, just while we're on the subject, the Night Stalker did get some slight buffs in this patch, and
The ultimate, right?
the ultimate's actually a lot better. It goes from
Yeah,
25-second duration at level 1 to 40.
Yeah, I think it's 40.
And it's the same at level 3, an 80-second duration. And the other lesser thing is that Hunter the Knight's attack speed, it scales a bit better, so there's more value in leveling it up. You get 45 attack speed at level 1, but that scales all the way up to 90 instead of 75.
Screw the attack speed. You just need the movement speed.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, it's just the attack speed, just to be clear. It's not the move speed.
Yeah, movement speed is the same though, so I think that is the most important component of that spell when he's like level 7. You don't really care about the bonus attack speed that much. It's just the movement speed.
Alright, well, with that said, we're going to go ahead and introduce the lineups here. We've got Newbee, Rabbit on your Centaur Warrunner, so far undefeated in the Summit 2. Hal will be playing your Juggernaut. Banana, the support Sand King. He's going to spot out Sylar here, but he'll just retreat. Mu, bringing up the rears, that Solomon Night Stalker, and that leaves the Ancient Apparition in the capable hands of Sangsheng. And over on the Radiant side, that puts Sylar, as mentioned, onto the Slark, MMY on the Disruptor. Faith will be playing your support Earthshaker. The Jungle getting heavily warded as Bananas. This is basically an RNG Sports style play, going for these cheeky little ganks in the tree line.
Mr. Net.
You remember when they used to just like camp 5 heroes here? Like, in that area?
And you know they have a lone druid, and they'll put the lone druid outside here, the bear outside here, and the heroes will be hiding next to the bear. And if you try to hit the bear, you die.
Yeah, it's been a while, but they really want to go in on Sylar.
Yes. So the lanes will be as expected. They are going against tri lane against the Disruptor, and Centaur has a lot of regen. Oh, he's gonna get a regen rune as well after using the Storm. Okay, that will put him heavily advantageous against the Doom in the first few waves.
Yeah, and this is already a matchup where if Doom doesn't get the right creeps, he can really struggle. So
he needs the. I'm thinking what. Maybe the regen creep.
I think the regen creep is best.
Yeah, the crit is like, I don't know if you want to trade blows with the Centaur though.
Yeah. Oh, and just last but not least, Yao will be playing your Brewmaster, and that is in fact in July on the offlane Doom. And Banana to spot out Faith here. That or MMY are the two heroes you really want to go on. Going on the Slark will be much more difficult, but we'll see if they try. So the matchups, Night Stalker mid versus a Brew. Generally we see Brew just crush pretty much every other melee hero 1v1.
Yeah, he should. Brew is gonna be. I think he will definitely do slightly better than the Night Stalker. Night Stalker still can do fine in the lane because he has more armor. Damage wise, he has a bigger base damage.
And I think Injulai got the ideal creep here. He gets the Unholy Aura, so.
Wow. Okay, so he got the like we talked about, the perfect creep for the lane.
Yeah, lane just got a lot easier with 5 regen per second.
This is like just one of those moments, like if you are enchant, you get a lightning creep and it turns the early game. This is the same for Doom.
Yeah, it's funny. It never used to be the lightning creep, and then it just kept on getting buffed patch after patch, and now it is, I think without a doubt, the most annoying creep in the game. For early on, anyway. Mana Burn's pretty annoying.
I think it's like, yeah, I think it's definitely the most annoying. The second will probably be just a Wildkin.
As Yao starts to bully Mu a bit here in the mid lane, and Mu's still able to last hit decently, and getting his farm up for now, using the Void effectively to last hit. He is skilling the Void. Sometimes we see players leave it at level 1 just to conserve mana.
Look at his skill build. He went for 2 points in crit.
Oh, the Brew.
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't have mana to use Clap. Yeah, it doesn't matter too much though. I mean, it's just a small thing because he's gonna have his bottle and he doesn't have mana for Clap. He's gonna get level 4 soon.
It's a real parade up the river from MMY. I think looking for a glimpse on Banana, but didn't have Sylar too close. Only level 2 anyway on that Slark. Does have his boots online though.
If you look at the lanes at the moment, top lane Centaur is doing slightly worse than the Doom because of that creep, and bottom lane Juggernaut is doing somewhat better than a Slug. 5 CS, actually more than 5. It's like a 9 CS ahead.
Rabbit's getting punished. He just wanted to buy his boots, and Injulai got like 8, well not 8, like 5 or 6 auto attacks off on him.
He has an Orb of Venom too. That's a perfect item for a melee versus melee matchup.
Normally you wouldn't trade against Return Winter, but I think you actually can pretty easily with this creep.
Yeah, with this creep, why not? You have more. You have like a built-in ring of health.
It's true. Well, the other interesting thing will be how active Moo gets. I think this tri-lane so far not finding kills, and obviously if the Night Stalker leaves the lane, Brew can push decently, but it's also dangerous for him to go on these aggressive ganks. If he does that and the Brew just TPs in, it can quickly turn into the entire support he casts dying, even if Moo runs away. So I'm curious how they're going to use this Night Stalker after the laning stage.
He's actually doing even with the Brew. This is really good for the Night Stalker already, because the Brew, he's not falling behind. That's fantastic for him.
Yeah, it's a matchup where I would have thought the Brew has a slight edge, but
yeah,
Moo's
Brew
been
definitely.
CSing really well.
He just didn't like Yao missed a couple of last hits here and there, and it became even.
Yeah, I gotta say Moo's individual play mid has been absolutely superb. Not just at TI, but even since then he's remained very consistent. Usually, to the extent you even can, he's usually winning his lane 1v1.
Yeah. I remember some of I think it was S4 when he plays Night Stalker, he doesn't skill his Void. So until he needs to kill a hero, so he uses less mana to last hit with the Void. It's gonna be nighttime.
Is Moo gonna go for this? I think just wants to force out some bottle charges from Yao and then back off. But rotation's coming from a hasted banana. This could be trouble for Yao. Burrow strike. There's no Void though. And they're actually body blocking the Sankey. Let him get in there, man. Alright, now they will. They'll follow up with a cold feet, a chilly touch, and that will be your first blood. It goes to the Sand King, giving him some much needed gold as well. And that aggressive tri-lane. He's not been stacking the jungle and he's not been getting any farm.
I think he ran towards the wrong side though. Maybe if he ran towards the ancient area, higher chance to survive because A wouldn't be able to cast spells on him. But he's going to get chased down by the hasted Sand King.
This could be trouble for Hal bottom lane. He's used his Blade Fury, gets glimpsed back into a kinetic field, and then trapped within a Sylar. Leap cooling down soon. I don't even know if they'll need it. Maybe they will with the healing ward here. Well. The Leap's got to come soon. Is he going to connect? He will. Hal falls simultaneously. Injulai goes down on the Doom.
Yeah. Banana came top as well, so that was a much needed kill for Rabbit. He was having a very tough time in the lane. If you just look at the CS, before that he was already 10 CS behind the Doom.
Yeah, this Doom is basically free farm. He's even with the enemy Juggernaut, but he has not had the kind of help the Jug did.
Yeah, just look at him. If he sold he's like so confident already. He bought phase boots, he sold his Salve to get a TP scroll. Just comes back to the enemy. He's like very sure that he doesn't even.
He's got Doom. He's got to use it now as well. Diving onto Rabbit with the phase boots cooling down. This should be a kill unless there's multiple TPs coming in.
Nah, he got the kill.
Rabbit, can he deny to the neutrals? Can he juke through the trees? No, that's not going to happen either. But he does waste as much time as possible. Night Stalker, meanwhile, using Darkness. And Moo does skill it, so I'm guessing... I'm not sure how much Moo has gotten to play this in the new patch, but I'm sure with the increase of 15 seconds to the Darkness duration, it's got to be a much more valuable pickup early on. Whereas in the past winter, it would be very common not even to skill Darkness until 10-11.
Yeah, because it's really bad. It's, what, 25 seconds level 1. It's not very useful. And combined with the 4-minute night cycle, day and night cycle, it's really bad, I think. And bottom lane, they're going to go in.
But Sylar's already on the way out. This one's not going to happen. And of course, this is always the risk when you run the Night Stalkers. Even if he does well in his lane, if he can't continue to find kills after the laning stage, it's hard to keep up in farm. But Moo has an invis, and he's teleported top using the invis right before the TP. So during that fade time, he's able to sneak up on Injulai, gets the jump on him, and starts to dive this dude. With the slow coming out, it might just be enough. Fissure's there, but it's not on the right side to keep Moo out. Now Faith body blocking, beautiful body block. Will keep his Doom in healthy shape, and Moo might even pay for this. He's overextended. He hasn't gotten the kill. One more tower shot. Not enough. The Void secures the kill and makes his way out. Moo living life on the edge. Will barely survive. Meanwhile, mid lane, there's a Baru split. It was used to try and kill off Rabbit, but Yao fails in doing so. Gets nothing for that first split, and meanwhile, the enemy Night Stalker is diving deep and killing off what was a very farmed hero to begin with. Or almost killing off Injulai, I should say, but killing off the Earthshaker still.
Yeah, and they forced a rotation from the Slug too. There was 2 teleports towards the top lane, and in the end, it still ended up 1-for-1 trade. It was a big victory for Newbee. And bottom lane, Hao is trying to go in on the support Disruptor.
Yeah, can't glimpse that Juggernaut out, and the Blade Fury will take him right through the kinetic field, back onto the other side, then glimpse back to safety. Although he would have been safe otherwise, but he's able to conserve a little extra HP in doing so. Moo does get that kill top, but you do see the heavy cost. Oh, hold that thought, Sylar. Maybe they're going to go on bottom lane with the Omni Slash. He doesn't have his ult yet. They could think about this. It's not really enough damage, though.
He can jump away, and it's going to destroy it anyway.
He's going to have the ult now, so that opportunity's pretty much gone, but... You know, I guess this is the point that I was trying to make about the Night Stalker pick, Winter, is even though he's done more than Yao, it takes him a while to get these kills, and if you only get the one kill for all that, then you do fall a bit far behind.
He got 2 kills. Actually, the other kill doesn't count because it was the supports rotating in to help him.
Yeah, he's even on levels now, because Yao went to get a rune. But Yao has gotten some time to catch up in his farm here. Now the fissure coming through.
Glimpse. You might want to glimpse it.
They had the level 3 glimpse, but I think MMY
because
lost
the fissure was blocking the brew. If the fissure was a bit to the left, then maybe they want to go for that kill.
How going back in bottom lane, just harassing for now. And Rabbit, he's so confident there's no one coming top that he's dropping his Tranquil Boots in the lane. I feel like that's just one of those things that's going to come back to haunt you, but there's no one really to punish it for now.
The worst one was, I remember, Bone 7, where he lost his Arcane Boots.
Have you ever... I've had that happen to me in pubs and you just give up, man. There's nothing worse than that. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, and they're still waiting to try and get this Night Stalker kill. It's already daytime. They want to go in right now.
They do. The glimpse move back in and into the clap. Now the split can come through. They'll need to blow it too. They got to be quick with this boulder toss. Wow. Well, maybe not. Fissure's there. Moo trapped out. The creeps surrounding him, and they'll even stampede, but it's too late to keep him out. While bottom lane, Sylar begins to trade blows here with Hal, stopping to farm, and he may be forced to use his ultimate if Hal wants to commit. He's thinking about it in July TP.
I think he should actually jump back to the jump. He had ulti. And the Doom would have followed up with the ultimate there.
Doom is used on Hal, but can they get that next leap? No, not in time.
Missed the pounce.
He's gonna. He's thinking about trying for it. Yeah, that's way too far to go.
Yeah, that's way too far. I think. I don't think he can make it.
But Winter, I think my concern for LGD right now is Banana. He's got his Blink Dagger at 10 minutes, and you know, on the back of the first blood, I don't think he got the. Yeah, he got an assist for the other kill tap. This is a very fast Blink. Remember, this was an offensive tri-lane Sandcane to start. He's caught up very nicely.
Yeah, that's the strength of this hero with Sandstorm. There's always a chance where you just get a few minutes and you just catch up really quick.
But it is a Sandstorm level 3, so maybe Banana just farms a little bit before he ganks.
He can actually stack one more camp if he wants to and get level 7 if he really wants to have that extra point in Power Strike before he tries to take a fight. But I think it's not that big of a difference though if he has the Blink initiation.
So what are you expecting to see as we go towards the mid game here, Winter? Do you think either team is in a stronger place right now? What should their respective strategies be?
I think they're gonna try and fight at every tower with both of their lineups pick this way, and whoever just fights better will just get the upper hand. Maybe LGD has the heroes better at split pushing with the slug later on if they actually fall behind. And they have the Doom to pick off heroes. Like if you force them to split push with the slug, and the Doom can be in position to try and pick off heroes when Newbee is separated, trying to recover all the lanes.
How are you feeling about the Night Stalker pick so far? Is it paying off? Is it too early to tell? You think it's all about the second nighttime, or is it already not doing enough?
I don't know, man. I think he's still not doing too much at the moment. Even though that was like a play where I think he could have done with the play at the top lane where he forced rotations. I think he could have done it even with other solo mid heroes. Yeah,
and here's that farm better. Here's that. Well, Night Stalker does scale well with farm. It's much harder to get that farm.
Yeah, he has a lot of armor, a lot of base damage, and he's okay. Here comes the
and top lane Angeli's in trouble. Double edge is there. The burrow strike to start and kill secured. Goes the way of the Sandcane. Now the Omni Slash used and a Blade Fury on top of the Static Storm.
He missed the clap.
Rabbit still able to retreat out of this one. Epi being channeled and Banana comes roaring back in. Connects onto. Manages to clip Sylar with those last few pulses. Not enough to secure another kill though. They'll cyclone up the Edge Apparition. Perhaps they leave him for dead though. Moo's healthy. And it seems they may want to re-engage here. Try and keep Sanction alive. Focus on these backline heroes. They'll bring down the Earthshaker. This is going to be 3-4 dead. Brew. able to blink out for now, but the chase continues as Moo charges forward. The Moo Stalker's in the house. Blake, stop double edge. That's 4 down. All it's cost them was a Sand Cane, and, well, the Doom comes through, but Injuly's immediately gonna feed. I think that's 2 deaths in the same fight for him. Sylar now leaping onto Moo, but getting auto-attacked by a Doomed How, and then Sylar realizes, oh, I can maybe kill him too. Fissure securing that one. Can Sylar clean up? Can he clean up? He's got... Can he stay out of vision? That's the tough part here. Nice static, kinetic field, holding 2 in place. And he may look to go back in. The ult's going down, the Echo Slam. Drive by from Faith. He's not done yet. It's basically a reverse team wipe. LGD, how did they pull that one out of the hat? Oh my goodness. It is... The Sand King died, but I think it was too early to count as a part of the latest fight recap. But correct me if I'm wrong, Winter. I think that was a full wipe against Newbee at the end.
Yeah, I think they lost. Yeah, they basically lost everyone. I think only the Juggernaut didn't die. I think the Juggernaut, did he die? Oh, actually,
yeah,
he died. Well, yeah,
he died to Faith.
There was a lot of mistakes in the fight. Like the Fissure even missed, and I think the most expensive one was the Panda when he missed his clap on the Centaur, and the Centaur didn't die, and he just ran out of the silence from the Disruptor ultimate, and he just came back in for a Storm later on, and it helped them win the team fight. If he connected with the clap, I think LGD might have actually won the team fight without losing so many heroes.
Yeah, Newbee got a little cocky as well. They were diving pretty far during that fight, but...
And here comes Smoke.
See a nice ward planted down. Does end up... I think they saw Sylar there, but... It was not 100% sure.
Yeah, here comes another fight. I told you.
Alright, we're gonna brawl bottom lane. Let's get ready to dance. MMY into the front, but not quick enough to react. The 2-hero stop double edge combination jumps through. Static Storm deployed, but connects on absolutely nothing. Well, it does keep Hal from retreating, though. And then Moo, next on the line to overextend. Might pay, except for this, the huge epicenter for Banana. Perhaps turning the course of this fight, and potentially even better Fissure from Faith. Yeah, the Bruisers really duking it out.
He landed 2 really good Fissures. The first one that stopped the double edge from coming out after the Centaur Storm on 2 heroes, the Disruptor and the Panda. That allowed the Disruptor to drop his ultimate. And then that second Fissure, the Fissure saved the fight for them.
The Sand Cane and Earthshaker right now are really carrying their teams. Faith and Banana, I feel. Some great initiations from Rabbit as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Multiple 2-hero
Here comes
stuff.
another Barrage Strike.
They've got a nice blast ready. Banana does get pounced on, but Omni Slash is there to back him up, and Juggernaut slicing and dicing. Looks to bring down Sylar as well, but his managed to wasn't a hit by that HF Rishnault, I think, or managed to remove it, but either way, the Healing Ward is struck.
Look at that Healing Ward! Oh my god.
That's a Bruce split for really Zilch. Can he at least retreat safely? Looks like he'll barely make his way out, but now Newbee know they can dive. Yao blinking through the tree line. That is not the right direction to escape fully from this aggression. As they dive onto Sylar, they commit behind the tower, killing him off and looking for Yao too. But they're a bit light on damage. It's daytime soon, and Moo doesn't really offer much once that daytime hits. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, never mind. This is his ult.
They lost 2 towers already. 2 fights, 2 towers. Even though with the Fissures, they still lost a tower.
This is just such a weird game for both teams, honestly.
This you know this feels like what? The old patch. They are playing like the old patch that you just 5-man and keep pushing towers.
Yeah, except it's not with pushing heroes, it's with gankers. It's like a team of 5 gankers for both teams.
5 gankers on both teams.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Maybe not Juggernaut, but pretty much everyone else is a ganker.
Yeah, it's just like a lineup that just keeps fighting and tries to find pick off, and they're gonna get Aegis. This is a significant advantage in a match like this, or getting an Aegis.
Yeah, if you're face rushing, then you want to be able to dive fully. Let's see who they give it to. Moo or Hal,
Night
your
Stalker,
likely
Night
choices?
Stalker, I think. Wow, I thought they were gonna give it to the Night Stalker.
I kind of like that better as well, because he doesn't have the Blade Fury or Omni Slash disengage, and there's just so much crowd control this game. Even if you're tanky like Night Stalker, you get stunned once.
Yeah.
You may just die to chain stun, regardless of your HP.
But he's not as rich. Like I wouldn't say very poor, but he's just not as rich as the Juggernaut. Juggernaut is like almost 2,000 net worth of hit.
Winter,
so usually
he was the 4th poorest hero before that whole sequence of events. He was very poor earlier.
Yeah, he died in all the engagements. Didn't get many of the last hits on the kills.
They're looking to jump in mid?
Panda is ultimate up soon.
This is a poor Panda as well. These solo mids are just devastated. Now, to be fair, LGD in general are struggling. You see 4 heroes for Newbee in the top 5 in net worth. They're now up by about 4,500 gold, 3k experience, and, well, a whole lot of momentum to boot. And this is where the Night Stalker does get scary. I think, to me, one of the best heroes in Dota to have an advantage with. Just patrolling the map with a gem or observer wards. You're constantly playing in the dark, quite literally. And you're very nervous to leave your base.
Yeah, and the ward actually spotted the Juggernaut's position. They need to use the Doom just to pick off this Aegis.
Didn't they changed it so that Doom doesn't actually cancel Blade Fury, right?
Yeah, it doesn't. Chronosphere doesn't cancel. Black Hole doesn't cancel.
Yeah, nothing cancels it then, I guess. But you can still mess them up with it. And they'll get the Doom off first anyway, so it's a moot point here. As Hal gets latched and caught out by Sylar, but that's only the Aegis, and now they can look to turn this one. Blink, stomp, double edge. Juggernaut's coming back, the Echo Slam's there. Sand King unable to get off his epicenter, now caught out in that Static Storm. Banana may fall, that's a lot of team fight down the drain off the bat. Still, they try to fight it out anyway. Move, boulder toss. And Hal just kind of running around in circles during this fight. He's still got his Omni Slash, but hasn't found an opportunity to use it. And suddenly, it's just Moo and Hal. The Twin Towers left to duke it out. The Omni Slash inadequate, to put it mildly. Doing almost nothing there. But still managed to get that 1 kill with the urn. And in the end, a 2-for-3 exchange, plus the Aegis dropping as well.
And the tower. That's a very big victory for LGD.
Huh. It actually gives a death indicator when Juggernaut loses his Aegis. That's kind of confusing, I think. But anyway, yeah, that was the Aegis. So 3 deaths and Aegis down, and they get 2 kills in return. Plus, like you said, LGD get the tower as well.
It's a bit similar to the game yesterday though. Like, Newbee lost their laning phase, but they got better in the fights. But this fight, LGD actually got the upper hand of it. And then, I think if you're a Newbee, you just go and fight again. Panda ultimate is down. You want to get a tower at least, or get a pick off.
They do match.
Yeah, they still have Sand King ulti, like you mentioned. They didn't get to use it.
Yeah, I think he burrow striked into the kinetic field Static Storm.
Yeah, he wanted to save the Centaur from dying. Then he didn't get time to channel. If he were to channel his epicenter, Centaur was gonna die anyway. So he just tried to burrow strike to save him, but in the end he still died and he didn't get his epi off. It's one of those situations where you have to make a decision to save your teammate.
I will say I'm a little worried for Newbee if they don't do something to address Sylar. Like, if this continues on too long, he's got a BKB. They have almost nothing on BKB. Primarily magic damage, Omni Slash, and right clicks from a Night Stalker. It's not really going to cut it for me, Winter.
And here comes the epicenter.
On to Yao, the follow-up stomp, perfectly timed, easy kill. And do they go for a glimpse to try and turn this around? Rabbit, kind of running back and forth, not really committing. Now glimpse, but not too far out. Static Storm will be completely airballed, and that will be the end. No, maybe not. Rabbit wants to punish this. The Burrow Strike also whipped by Banana. Series of fails from both teams, and even Sylar popping his BKB out of panic. That's a 9-second charge down the drain for him.
At least they didn't lose anyone, and they got a free kill on the Brood. They are still farming all the whole map. At the moment, they need to get the map. They need to push out all the lanes, but LGD has really good vision all over the map right now. 3 observer actually on the enemy side territory, and another one on the other side of the map. You know, basically see the whole jungle. It's
really funny, Winter, because I wanted to make the exact same comment earlier. When Newbee won the fights, they got great wards down.
Middle lane, middle lane.
On to Moo they go. They get the latch in for the Slark, and there's nowhere for this Night Stalker to go, but straight back to the wells. In July, BKBs, and just tries to walk in on Rabbit. That ain't gonna happen. Well, he'll keep on trying, but he'll just blink away.
He wanted to disable his blink, and he just wanted to run in, and hopefully his team can actually get a spell on him.
Yeah,
Too ambitious. Too ambitious.
It's series of fails this game. It's just not been the smoothest game from either team. And honestly, I think part of it is this version, just the way the game swings back and forth. It's not nearly as extreme as it was when the patch was first dropped, but it seems like everyone has just been...
Just look at the graph, you know. Yeah. It's quite even from the start, and then it dips down, and it comes back up after one team fight. But Newbee still holds the edge at the moment. They got more gold from the kills, and at the moment, top of the chart of the farmers are like Slug and Doom are not far behind. I mean, the Slug is not far behind of the Juggernaut. He's 400 behind, But the rest are more. The rest of the newbie team, the whole team in general, is much more better in the economy state.
Well, Newbee get aggressive now. Smoked up, and they did it from deep behind their own territory. Moving now through the Radiant Woods is a pack of 3. They have that Night Stalker all ready to go. It is still daytime, but it's about to clock nighttime. And this will be the long night. Now he's got the level 2 ultimate. This one probably going to last, I don't know, what, like 8-9 minutes, something like that?
500 days of night.
Something. Maybe not quite that extreme. But,
yeah, but
it'll be pretty long.
I think their lineup will benefit a lot from the Blades as well. They have 4 melee heroes, Night Stalker, constantly right-clicking, and a Juggernaut.
I would love to see them get a gem with this next nighttime as well.
Gem on the Night Stalker?
Yeah. Night Stalker is pretty good for that.
Rabbit, he's gonna get surrounded. He needs to get out as soon as possible.
Doesn't have his eggs.
Oh dear.
Oh, just a second late MMY. Yeah, he doesn't have eggs, so I suppose it's not an amazing, but it's still a very good map control hero in general.
He's looking to build a BKB, like, very important against the Earthshaker and the Disruptor.
Yeah, it's just... Both teams are very magic damage heavy. Later on, we may see our Slark come into play as a right clicker.
I think later on, Slark and Doom will give LGD the bigger advantage as the game drags longer.
Well, unless there's some really, really nice Omni/bounces for Hao. Who is pretty fat for the time being. He's completed an Ags after going for that early value Yasha.
Yeah, and he's gonna have his 16 as well. 16 is very, very, very powerful on the Omni/.
How many extra slash? Oh, dunk bottom lane. Oh, we just got melted.
You get 3 extra slashes. I mean, it's like because you get 6 at level 11, so it's basically a 50% increase.
No, I'm saying like the auto attacks in between the slashes. How many do you think he'll get like with his current attack speed?
Not sure though.
Okay.
Maybe 2 or 3. Yeah, it depends a lot on your attack speed. He's not having like the best attack speed right now, like Yasha and Drums only.
That's why I loved when DK ran the support Juggernaut, because they did it with a troll. And so the troll would ult, and Juggernaut would get like so many extra auto attacks during the Omni Slash. That was a really cool combo.
I think you can also you need like attack speed item after you build your Acceptor and your Yasha. Like something that builds into a Hyperstone, maybe a Maelstrom, or maybe Assault Cuirass is less common on Juggernaut.
Yeah, he's not particularly beefy, but with Hao's build, he is decently tanky. 1700 health, 15 armor. We'll see what he goes for. For now, Newbee just kind of sitting back. They, outside of that Juggernaut, are still fairly underfarmed. And frankly, everyone's fairly underfarmed in general this game for 25 minutes in. Just try to catch up after that bloody start.
Too much fighting, and they don't have a bounty hunter.
Yeah, who said Chinese Dota would be a farm fest? Certainly not the case anymore. Nighttime will fall. Well, it continues, I should say. It's worth mentioning that extra reduced vision when it's darkness.
Yeah, even with the wards and the towers and everything, it's quite annoying though. I remember trying at a position where if the Night Stalker look at here, like here, if he's standing right here at the edge, the tower will not hit the Night Stalker because he doesn't have vision.
That's true. I mean, even this ward would, sir. It doesn't even see over here. That's crazy. They're looking for a go bottom lane, but Banana is safely tucked away in the trees.
Ice Blast. Maybe he's waiting for Ice Blast to get his kill. It's not easy though. He's fairly tanky.
They're not good. They're not going to risk it, it looks like. That is a fairly low percentage gank. And if they blow the epi on that and it backfires, then LGD will almost certainly take a tower for free.
That's when you look for the chat wheel. Game is hard.
Well played. LGD grouping up bottom, and at the same time, Newbee want to clash. We're going to have a fight here momentarily. There's a split.
Who doesn't
ready.
want to clash? You know, they've been looking for fights the whole game.
LGD.
What else is up? Do they have any new items? Anyone?
Slark is gonna have Scotty soon. That's the big one, I think.
Yeah, that's the big one. The rest is like nothing. Night Stalker has BKB, and they blink into the Rush Pit.
But Silo's gonna be here to greet them. He reveals both. He gets burrowed, but he already Dark Packed before going in, so this is removed immediately. He BKBs, then the Brew. As he gets Omni Slash, will simply split out of that one. How not really able to accomplish anything with his ultimate. The Slark BKB also wasted. Now they glimpse him back in. He doesn't have a Blade Fury. Dunk is there. The follow-up from Faith secured that first kill. The Epi's good. It connects on two. Might be enough to turn this one. Sylar forced to leap away as Yao comes back down to earth. He crits. He can't finish the job of Banana, but Faith can. The huge right clicks for the enchant totem. He gets auto-attacked down by How. That machine gun Samurai Blade doing its work. Now a hasted Moo in pursuit. Oh man, look at those wings flap, but to no avail as he's glimpsed out. Still they chase. They managed to secure 3. It cost them a double buyback though to take that win.
If they can get the Roche, then it's gonna be all worth the trouble. But if they can't get the Roche, I think it's actually maybe even more detrimental that they use the 2 buybacks for that.
Well,
because they still have the Doom. Doom has ultimate up.
And it is worth mentioning that Sylar did not die in that fight, so I have Scotty's pretty much done at this point, and meanwhile, the Juggernaut, nowhere near a new item for How.
Yeah, that fight his ultimate was totally wasted when the Panda split during the Omni Stash.
Yeah, the only way that happens is if you get off a silence or a stun of some kind.
Yeah, with the Centaur or the Sand King. They need someone to lock him down before he Omni Stashes there.
Yeah, I think Sand King Banana was very focused on finding a good Epi that fight, which he did, but it came at the cost of his buddy.
Sometimes sacrifices have to be made to win wars.
Well, Sylar has not been the sacrificial lamb, and I still worry a bit for Newbee here. If he manages to farm up like the Abyssal Blade, one more item, or even just a Basher and one more item, that might be the point where they just can't beat the Slark any longer. We'll see. It's all going to come down to execution in these fights.
What items he's going to go for? Maybe just directly... I'm thinking whether he's actually going to consider getting a Blink so he can actually jump and directly kill. Like, AA is very weak when Slug has a Blink. He's just going to be food for you the whole time.
Yeah, Blink would be pretty good on him. They don't have an initiator on the level of like a Sand King or Centaur. Yeah, they've got Bruce Split, but you want to be selective about when you use that, not blow it for a support kill in general.
So the Night Stalker has a Blitz right now, and I'm thinking of another item as well. Crimson Guard would be good, but nobody's there to build it, I think. There's so many melee heroes, and Crimson Guard, and all of them do a lot of right-click damage.
That's a good point. It's a little late though, I feel. Like, do you actually think Crimson Guard's worth going for at 30 minutes?
It's a very good like early game item, I feel. Even late game is not that bad because the item gives you armor. So
That's true.
It's not really that bad.
It's also got a nice build up, and Moo is still struggling to farm much of any significance.
Yeah, it's a cheap item, but if they wanted to build it, they would probably have it on the Centaur instead, instead of the Night Stalker.
Yeah, speaking of that Centaur, Rabbit has picked up an Ogre Club, so looks to be going for a BKB. And
Triple BKBs, maybe? No, Juggernaut went for Demon Age. Monkey King Bar for the evasion. Yeah, for the evasion.
Yeah, that will be very helpful against the Brewmaster. Although he has skipped until now Drunken Haze entirely. Just pure stats for Yao. Pretty unusual not to see even a single point in it.
Yeah, it's like AoE. If you, let's say for example, a Night Stalker.
And there's 4 melee heroes.
Yeah, they're standing together and you just get a 4-man Drunken Haze off, and then it's just like, we have too much boost for today, guys. We can't touch anyone.
Yeah, sleep this one off. You're gonna feel a little rough in the morning. Maybe a little hair of the dog to turn things around will be in order, but not gonna be the case here. There's still no drinking. This is a brew who's a teetotaler for the time being.
He bought a plate. So the Doom bought a plate meal. He's gonna be building into a Shivas, I think. Assume will most likely be his choice. Panda is still struggling to build his BKB. Slug's next item would, I think it's either he builds a dagger or Abyssal. Something that gives him lockdown. Lockdown is his most important, his most necessary build right now. He needs to be able to stick on someone and just kill someone right away.
Yeah, as we mentioned, Newbee are very elusive if you're not able to like catch them in say kinetic field.
Everyone has like, they have 2 4-star. They have Stampede, and that Sand King is very hard to lock down without Abyssal.
Yeah, you do not want to let him get off like 2-3 hero stuns multiple times in a fight, and he's been doing it for the most part.
Yeah, this is the easiest target, the AA, the food.
Yeah, but he's also not a very rewarding meal, you know. That's the lower
And
hanging fruit.
if you take away the ice blast, it's quite significant in team fights.
He normally gets it off. But yeah, maybe you force him to waste it at the very least. They're gonna
Sylar
TP an
double
Inch'Alai to the right of the
Where's
tower.
the glimpse? Where's the glimpse? Oh, he's too far back.
Inch'Alai maybe could have jumped that, but he did not want to be out too far from his team, and both teams back down for the brink once again at 33 minutes. It is slowing down, Winter. Neither team with that ultra hard carry. Maybe you could count Slark or Doom as a close to hard carry, but
you can count Slug as a because he can be played as a super hard carry. He's very good. He's very good in late game because of his passive.
yeah. I don't know if I'd call him an ultra hard carry, but he's very good late game. I would agree.
Ultra hard carry is classified to Medusa.
Like
Faceless
OD,
Void,
yeah,
Spectre.
Medusa. I don't
Even anti-mage is not classified as ultra late carry. He's like just a strong carry.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Maybe Void with 6 slots or close to it.
Void with 6 slots. I would think that maybe Lone Druid with 12 slots. Ultra late game carry.
I don't know, man. Maybe now the new Lone Druid with the monopool. Oh my god.
What would you use? What would you use? You're not gonna buy a Dagon, so maybe only Mask of Madness.
Dude, Mask of Madness is a... Well, it's a little bit risky, I guess, to go for that because your bear is already squishy late game, but that's more of a mid-game item, but it is pretty amazing. That bear attack's really fast with Mask of Madness.
Well, what else would you build with the new Lone Druid?
Blade Mail.
What?
On the bear? It's not bad, dude. It's got a lot of health. And it loses that health quickly, too. It's kind of a double-edged sword.
You build a Shivas on the bear. You know?
Yeah. I honestly, if it goes late game, your bear is pretty useless most of the time anyway. At least in fights. Alright, we may have some action, though. Let's not talk about heroes that aren't in the game. Let's talk about the panda that is. The Brews here.
Let's talk about the Disruptor picking up a Blink before this fight.
Could be big for Momoya. Sylar smoked up and Newbee. They're not aware. None the wiser to this one. As the wraparound comes from Sylar, trying to get eyes on Newbee. But not
who gets the jump will win the fight? Who gets the jump will win the fight?
He who dares will prevail, but it's Banana being the aggressor. He's pushing at this top lane. He's going to blink out into the trees momentarily and probably TP out, and this will end the pushing. Or at least the attempt to get aggressive from LGD.
Yeah, the Sand King can actually, I forgot about this, he can actually do even job like a Slug, keep pushing lanes. He's as good as, maybe even better than the Slug, when he has like 4 points in Caustic.
You can kill a massive wave of creeps in like 1 burrow and 2 caustics.
Yeah, Slug needs 2 Dark Packs, so it's gonna take like 12 seconds for that to happen.
Yeah, I think SK is faster, but that's also assuming the Slark's not hugely farmed. Well, we get an answer to our question for Sylar now. He's picked up a Basher Winter, and I'm imagining the next stop on this train will be the Abyssal. Meanwhile, Hao collects his MKB as well.
Sometimes you just want to keep like the Basher and you go for something else. Sometimes. Like Butterfly evasion is quite good, but Juggernaut already has the Monkey King bar, so forget it.
I don't... Oh, and he's seen it now too, how to show himself bottom lane. Newbee and LGD looking to make this a longer game. 36 minutes in. We still have tier 2s standing all over the map. There's even a tier 1 bottom. Total of 4 out of 6 tier 2s online. It's been a lot of blood, but... And you compare this to 6.81 Winter, but we are seeing the differences. Similar level of 5-man, not a similar level of tower killing, though. That's for damn sure.
And not a similar level of game ending times. The games get longer if you play like this because everyone is afraid to make that one comeback mistake. And you just try to play as stable as possible. You don't take too much risk, and yeah, they're gonna trade towers here. But this trade obviously is better for Newbee. They are pushing out 2 lanes, and they're gonna get a middle tier 2 for this.
And with that MKB complete on Hao and some illusions at his side, he pushes very fast. It almost sounds like a miniature Omni Slash the way he's just slicing away. And with that sword, he'll poke down the tower. Looking for more. They'll go up onto the high ground. They've got Rabbit here, not getting return damage onto the tower, but the TPs are coming. And Newbee are going to need to back. They have that Blink Disruptor. Can he get in range for something? No, not going to happen.
That was a very, very good trade for Newbee. They got so much out of that. And map control wise, they are having much more aggressive wards. They have one ward in the enemy jungle, one around the Roche area, so they're just perfectly set up for the next Roshan. Vision in the jungle, vision in the river, so if they don't use a smoke and they come fight at the Roche, Newbee will know what's going on.
Well, you're talking about Vision Winter, and Newbee's about to one-up what you're describing, because Moo is on the verge of that eggs. It's a really late eggs, 38 minutes. I mean, this is quite late,
still
but
good.
it's still an eggs on Night Stalker.
Yeah. I think he's gonna save for buyback instead though. I don't think he'll buy it. Maybe
really?
Oh no, he's just gonna buy it. Yeah.
I'm generally in agreement with you that saving for buyback is good, but I feel like this item just wins fights.
Yeah, this item is like the best item you have for the rush fight. You see everything.
And it's also kind of a safe item, right? Because by its very nature, it makes you much harder to kill. Because you will pretty much always see them coming from a million miles away.
Yeah. When you always see them first, then they can't jump you.
I mean, look at this. Like, it's just this global cone, basically. Just toggling the dire vision. He already sees MMY in the river. They get great eyes on him. Will pop his ultimate, reducing the vision of LGD while maintaining his own supremacy. And now they go in. They get the jump on Sylar. Now the Static Storm can come through. They Omni Slash, but Sylar ults, BKBs, and retreats out. Suddenly Hal gets doomed. Trapped out by the Slark, still in danger. Will end up falling. He continues to trade blows, and Yao on the chase has yet to split. Claps. They glimpse back that Night Stalker. Oh, well, maybe I spoke too soon. They got the jump. But they just couldn't get the kill.
It doesn't matter if you see them and they have glimpse and you don't have BKB. And he actually went for, yeah, like I mentioned, he didn't complete the Abyssal. He just bought the Basher and then has a blink.
And now Sylar finds Saint Shane. It'll be a third kill here. No buyback available on quite a few of these heroes. Night Stalker not heavy, H Apparition not either. A triple kill for Sylar. This could be Rex. At least one, oh, actually only one lane, because they still got their tier 2s up in the others.
Juggernaut has buyback. Sand King has Epicenter. He's maybe trying to get a level 16. He's too far away from that.
I think they keep on going until they see another buyback, though. But Rabbit is lurking.
Panda has split still.
Rabbit is ready. Do LGD have detection for this one? They've got sentries, but none plop down in position. Sylar continues to siege. Rabbit trying to get eyes on them. And he'll blink in. Stomp. Double edge to connect on MMY. Now the Epi can come through, and they're all clumping up. This could be very bad for LGD. Completely caught out, but it seems it doesn't matter anyway. Banana just unable to dish out sufficient damage. They bruise split. They pop their BKBs. They tank through it, and, well, they try to turn this one. Now he gets bashed. Now he goes down. Nope. Yep. Thought he would survive, but that Echo Slam in the end secured the kill. Y'all try to TP out. Not so fast, says Newbee, who managed to bring him down. Roshan has respawned. They did not lose the Rex, though. Tier 3 did fall.
Yeah, but Sylar didn't die, so he's gonna have his Blink Abyssal right now.
That is a fat Slark. That is a one scary fish.
Wow, they're gonna go in for the rush. Is he gonna try and snag the Aegis? Nah, he's not gonna try. His ultimate is in 10 seconds. Nah, too slow. Again, this is a similar fight. Remember the last fight? The same thing happened. LGD lost the fight, but Newbee had 2 buybacks, and Newbee got Roche after that, so it compensates for the buyback.
And they also get the gem now on Moo. So with the Aegis picked up, and the only concern here, Winter, will be if they lose a big fight in the next 4.5 minutes. If that happens, they might just get Rexed.
They have map hack deployed right now, so chances are lower.
Map hack, wall hack, there is no hiding for Moo. I mean, you could just watch the mini-map. You just see this big cone surrounding him wherever he goes. It's pretty absurd. And you won't be able to keep wards up. They're going to de-ward this one. And as soon as they ever bother to head towards the Roche Pit again, they'll de-ward the rest there. One auto attack from Hal cleans that out. And
oh yes, illusions. Easy. He's going to see everything.
Literally global map hack now. With these 3 illusions, I mean, it's got to be at least, what, like 15% of the map constantly covered by Night Stalker vision? Close to it.
He might actually not find... He's not going to scout here, though. These 2 ones are going to survive.
They're seeing absolutely nothing, though. That's the downside here. What a game it's been so far. And I think where I really worry is just what you brought this up very casually during the draft, but it's become very apparent that the big issue for Newbee is they just don't have a solution for Sylar. Like, unless you get perfect chain stun. If you manage to Burrow Strike, Stomp, double edge, and on top of that, your Jug Omni Slashing, then maybe, but otherwise he just BKBs and ults, and there's no solution for that on this Newbee side.
That's a slippery fish, and they don't have a hex or something.
It's a slippery fish, and it's also got sharp teeth with the Abyssal Blade ready to be purchased whenever he decides to spend his gold.
Why is Abyssal Blade associated to sharp teeth? Okay, forget it.
Are they gonna push? That's the question for Newbee right now. They're trying to get eyes in the base, and Moose sees all at this point. This is the never-ending night. It's now got the level 3 ultimate, the Aghanim Scepter. The nighttime really doesn't ever end.
Yeah, they can just keep farming the whole map right now. Pushing high ground is very dangerous for them. They can still lose a team fight easily because of not having good lockdowns to kill the. I mean, it's difficult. They have good lockdowns, but it's difficult to land them on the slug with a BKB and Dark Pack. It's very, very difficult.
Newbee will try to push in. LGD not leaving their base for now, just kind of hugging the tower, which is pretty much all you can do.
Yeah, they'll probably just try. Oh no, they see the courier. Oh no, they're gonna try and kill the courier with the 2 supports. Sneaky courier, trying to get the Abyssal.
Let's see if it makes its way back, but well, it is being hunted a bit by Banana. Has the relic now. It's gonna head straight down. Does he snipe it? No, he blinked over it.
Oh no!
Stumpy has some sweet moves.
Melee heroes 50% damage on the courier.
Stampede, they got it. Oh, that's bad. Now they Doom Rabbit, but it's while he's still stampeded. Takes a little while to slow him down. Glimpse on the Howl, that's not going to work either because he Blade Furied out of it. And then move BKB is also not going to accomplish anything. And LGD will just hug the base in the end. But they got the courier, Newbee didn't. Well, for the next 3 minutes, they're going to have their Aegis and there's no Abyssal. And buyback is still up on the Slark, so he's at least got that to work with.
He actually has buyback, even if he dies.
Hal continues to get aggressive here. Popping the Manta Style, now Blade Fury, and you can still hit buildings and other Magic Immune units through this though, so he'll quickly siege it down. Now gets bashed though. Could be in trouble here. Does Hal get off his Omni Slash? Not gonna happen. He'll fall, he's got Aegis for round 2. But they have to back him up if they want to defend this. Sylar, now Poppy is BKB going to work on Hal. No Omni Slash yet. Caught out on the Static Storm, will end up falling. The Epi's there. But just not doing very much, as everyone's either BKB'd or too tanky. And yeah, now he's getting out of control. He's still got buyback. He doesn't even have his Abyssal Complete Boulder Toss. That'll catch Sang-Cheng. He won't be able to escape. Meanwhile, your Sand King also being chased out. MMY drop his Sentry. Banana. Nowhere to go. Another bash. This one on the first hit from Sylar. It's 4 that fall, plus an Aegis to boot. They did get a range Rax, but that hardly seems worth it at this stage.
Yeah, he has 100 bonus agility from that fight. Just push. Maybe force some buybacks. They're probably gonna try and just force maybe even at least even 1 buyback. But nah. 40 seconds, I don't have enough time.
Let's see if they push in. Sylar and Yao. They'll be up pretty much by the time they get to the high ground here. There is a glyph ready to go.
Probably they'll just get a couple of right clicks off the range. Maybe they have enough time to break the range though. Maybe. Yeah, I think they have. Yeah, they have enough time. Slug has a lot of damage.
He's gonna glyph for this. LGD still trying to push in. Yeah, they'll get the range Rex. Do they get more? These buildings aren't...
They don't have time already. It's all out.
They do have buybacks though, and well, actually Newbies have cooled down. It's been about 5 minutes, so both teams will have close to a full complement of additional lives to work with if there's another engagement.
Yeah, and game is close to even right now.
And you're
in
doomed.
Terms of goal. Yeah, but experience-wise, it's actually almost even to. Yeah, it's basically dead even this game right now.
Man, this Doom is just so poor. And July has absolutely nothing. 47 minutes in, and I guess 1 in 6 explains it.
He has a Shiva's, BKB, and Blink.
For a Doom at 47 minutes, that's just...
Usually you're full slotted by now.
Yeah. He's behind the enemy Centaur. But the record does certainly explain it. Sylar, oh, missing the tower last hit, but That Abyssal Blade's on the way, and he's got another 5k gold in the bag. So we're looking... Oh, no, don't tell me the courier's gonna die again.
What, he's looking for the courier? No.
No, just making a foray into the enemy ancients, it looks like, but TP's out just in time to...
Thinking what would he go right now? Like, he can just basically buy damage.
Butterfly?
Maybe Monkey King Bar Butterfly, yeah. No evasion, so don't really need the Monkey King Bar.
Yeah, there is still the Juggernaut MKB, but to be honest, he's not man-fighting the Slark anyway. If he tries to trade right-clicks, he gets bashed or Abyssaled, and he's just dead.
He's not worried about the Juggernaut. Slark is never worried about Juggernaut. He's Omnistashes you, you just ulti, and if he man-fight you, Juggernaut cannot win the Slark.
Yeah, it's pretty much hopeless to... You'll have to get... The problem is, like, there's no one else who can really do it. Unless they get that perfect trade stun. But...
Yeah, I think actually at the moment, yeah, they can't. Nobody on their side can actually stand toe-to-toe against the Slark. They might consider having to get multiple Heaven Halberd to deal with the Slark. Because BKB is already, like, at 5 seconds now. Heaven's Halberd is perfect for this situation. Maybe one on a Centaur, one on the Night Stalker. Evasion is good against a Slark too.
They get a ward down, at least for now, and the other thing I guess we never talked about is they lost the gem in that previous fight, so that's now on Yao. Mu doesn't have his global map hack any longer. He still has the good vision, but...
Man, that thing needs to have a downtime. He needs to take a break.
Chill out, Mu.
Recharge his batteries for the next map hack.
Yeah, he hasn't picked anything else up since then, and the item progression in general is just halted for everyone outside of the Slark.
Oh no, MMY. He blinks into the ward range. Okay, he's dead.
Oh man.
What?
Oh my. He wanted to... He dropped...
You don't have to blink here to place the ward though. You can just place it at the Roche pit.
Yeah, he must have just clicked a bit too far out.
Oh dear. That was... Was he carrying a gem? No.
No, it's on the brew.
Oh boy, this is like a very... The lineups are pretty much very even until the late game stage where LGD's lineup just superior with the Doom and the Slark.
Now Faith moving up the hill, he's got a Fissure ready to go, Blink online as well, and might catch Banana here. They've got Wise on him from the ward, and they'll start it with an Echo. Sand King buyback status. He does have it.
Screw you. Echo on him.
Get dunked full, but yeah, that was... That's the cost of losing the gem, to be honest. Like, these wards are likely to stay up for much longer now.
Yeah. And how often do you see a game with 6 melee costs? Have you ever actually seen a game with 6 melee costs? Everyone's melee.
Yeah, back in the Face Rush era.
Yeah,
but...
it's actually 8 melee heroes. Even the supports are only like 1 range support each side.
I guess it's kind of a greedy patch in general, right? And melee heroes tend to be greedier by their nature. Not as strong in the laning stage. Most of them make up for it by scaling a bit better with farm, I would say on average. There's a few exceptions, but...
Yeah, but right now the Slug has enough for the full Butterfly. I think the next fight, LGD has a very strong next fight. When they're gonna just wait for the Roshan, and Slug will be very strong the next fight. Night Stalker already popped his ultimate, just to make sure that they have eyes on the Roche pit all the time.
Was it already nighttime before he popped it, or I kind of lost track?
Actually, I lost track too, so I didn't know.
Because that can be costly if you blow the ultimate, and then you have that 40-second downtime where it's daytime.
Yeah, and they can just oh, this is... So he's already bought out the whole Butterfly and still has enough for... Yeah, he still has enough for buyback. Every single bit of his goal is reliable goal. It's not gonna lose too much on it.
He also used his Flutter, which, to be honest, I've seen a lot of players that just... It's like they don't even realize it has that ability. But he's just using it to move between lanes a bit quicker.
Yeah, he can be used to, like, for Slug, it's pretty useful though. Chase down targets and run away. Like, against the Juggernaut, you don't really need the evasion anyway, because it doesn't work. The Roche is gonna spawn as they are camping the Roche pit. And where is the map hack? It's coming over. It's gonna detect.
They do have the Epicenter online. Roche starting to drop pretty quickly,
Yeah.
but...
There's the first Heaven's Helper on the Night Stalker.
I'm just not sure if it matters. Like, even if they get a perfect Epi here, would it be enough?
They can probably steal the Aegis. They have a very good position here, a good flank, and they have multiple blinkers and a Night Stalker vision. Aegis steal is a very high chance of happening there.
Well, they're not going to get that chance, I guess, as LGD do back off. Newbee wrapping around the other side of the tree line, but This will not give them that same high ground advantage, Sylar. Does he try to sneak into the pit himself?
It feels like going for the Roche is dangerous for LGD. Maybe they try to force a push first. Take a tower, take more map control.
No, Newbee.
They're gonna try to get the Roche.
Oh no.
No vision. No more vision.
But they have to know. They can't leave this unchecked for too long.
He's gonna blink in and check.
Is he?
Oh no.
Static field drops, Static Storm at the ready. Now Yao joins the party and everybody into the pit. Echo Slam deployed. Brew splits out. Everybody dropping low. Newbee didn't get off their epicenter as Banana was doomed. The Aegis hits the deck. It's picked up by Moo. That's something good for Newbee. Still though, Sylar's in this pit. He's basically at full HP. He's also gonna buy back if he needs it. And there's your Aegis down. Everybody buying back. But, well, really to what end? Sylar, he's gonna leap out, I guess, so they'll force them off the fight a bit. Secondary Doom was used a Rabbit, the first one on the Sand King, and now LGD beat a retreat. In July running out, they'll stampede forward. Sylar has that Flutter active. Flutter, my friend, Flutter! He gets slowed. He's not gonna do it in time. No leap for 2 seconds, but he Dark Packs out of the stun, continues to retreat. So they only get In July's Doom. It's a double Doom used, and I guess that's the thought here for Newbee is they've used both Dooms, we should fight right now.
The Centaur has a cheese before that fight. He used his cheese and he picked up the other cheese as well. So they stole the cheese and they got the Aegis as well. So they got everything.
Oh, they've got to fight now, though. Even with that, they've still used a lot of buybacks here, and if they let those Dooms cool down, it could be very costly. You know, Juggernaut and Sand King, two of their most important heroes.
And Juggernaut has evasion right now, and Slug doesn't have Monkey King Bar yet. So this is the time where maybe you would say the Juggernaut can fight the Slug.
Moo getting aggressive here, but with the evasion of his own, he's fairly durable in the fights. And Hao will manage to take down a melee rack, so they're gonna go in. Yeah, they are. Sylar straight on in with the Abyssal Blade. They push Hao out of that engagement, but he gets bashed again. He might end up going down, gets off the Omni Slash, kills off MMY, then it bounces back to Sylar, bringing him down to about half health, but he Dark Packs out. And in the end, it seems Newbee might have just had one too many buybacks. They take the Rex. Now they just need to get out. Double buyback from LGD. Fissure blocks the retreat. 3 heroes trapped inside the base. Clap will go into Sanction. Where's that Brew split? Looking for it. Maybe gonna get it off. Moo trying to run to the south. Gets dunked. Gets held in position by Faith. And then latched up by the Slug. Bashed as well. Sylar will bring him down. It's a godlike streak for him. Through it all, he's yet to die. It's an unkillable beast of a Slug. 15-1 and 13. But still, the first full lane of racks going the way of Newbee.
They still have buyback on the Night Stalker, and the rest they need to. Who else has buyback right now? Centaur has buyback. Juggernaut doesn't have buyback. You already use it. Sand King doesn't have buyback too. So this will probably get like multiple sets of racks. Like the top lane is already. There's no tier 2 tower outside, so they can actually rotate to top lane after taking the middle lane.
They'll Dark Pack the wave mid, and LGD keep on pushing in. They've got double Doom ready in 30. The first Doom ready now. Brew split cooling down in 45, but they'll just take the melee racks for the time being. Rabbit not jumping in. Sylar in the front lines. They'll buy back that Night Stalker. And this might force a retreat. Sylar gets caught mid-leap. He didn't manage to get off a Dark Pack, but July will be forced to jump in to try and bail his buddy out. He's still got a Doom ready. BKB's used one onto Hao to prevent him from fighting. Then he gets bashed, Abyssal, and focused. And not finished off just yet. Stampede can be used here on, well, Rabbit not doing too much with that. LGD on the retreat out. Yao dropping fairly low. They've got a secondary Doom ready to go. In July could pop it now. The Epi completely wasted. The Brew was already going to die, but doesn't really matter in the end. Everybody retreats. They didn't get the melee racks.
The big thing was also they didn't kill the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut didn't die from
the Doom. They Abyssaled him, they Doomed him, and he still managed to get out with the Stampede.
Yeah, they didn't chase for it as well. They could have committed Sylar in to kill him, but they thought he was gonna die from the Doom damage, but it wasn't. It was just not enough.
Yeah, that might be a trade you want to make, just because the Slark has buyback at this stage. So even if it's a slight overextension, your most important hero can come back.
He needs to get a Monkey King bar, sell the Blink and get a Monkey King mana.
Yeah, and they've got to count on these Doom initiations to just offer a bit more. Like he's gonna need his teammates to provide the lockdown from here. LGD hiding in their base, but it's a smoke straight down mid as Newbee look to end this one. Sylar on high ground, just out of vision. And now they get up into the base. They sneak around to the left side. Oh, one was revealed. Moo was spotted out. They'll Stampede in, though. They go into Faith. They'll kill him off. The Burrow catching MMY as well. And then your Doom leaps in. Gets off the Doom on Hao. Hao being forced to retreat out. Sylar on the chase, but he's been wasting a lot of time looking for this Juggernaut. And in the end, he'll go back and try to focus the tanks instead, but he gets stomped. He gets Burrow Strike. He'll have to use his buyback here if he goes down. And he will. Immediate buyback. but no dooms for 100 seconds. Newbee, one set of extra lives might have just been what turned it in their favor. Sylar now caught up by the burrow. He just fought back. He didn't get off a Dark Pack, but he leaps out to safety just before they can finish him off. The Omni Slash will kill off his friends, though. He hides in the well. He's got little left to defend as Newbee. One extra round of lives. This is... it just proves that if you let it go this late, anything can happen.
Yeah, the crucial thing was they didn't kill the Juggernaut just now with the Doom. That's why they couldn't defend this.
He will jump in. Sylar did use his Dark Pact here, but he's still stunned for quite some time. They brew split as well, but they're going to give up Mega Creeps for this. So they either have to go straight down mid or probably just lose in round 2 of this. As Banana, Appy's killing off Sylar. That's a dieback for the Slark, and GG coming any second from here. They'll lose 4 inside their own base. Newbee just a bit more organized in their fights, and they'll manage to pull it out from what looked like a very LGD-sided game in the mid game there.
Yeah, I think it was just like you mentioned, they played better and made better decisions in the team fights, even though they don't have heroes that are as strong as LGD in late game, but they played the game better. And Night Stalker, the other thing was because Night Stalker's vision gave them a lot of, you know, intel on whether they should make a decision to fight or they should make a decision to back. The vision ultimately gave them the edge to make better choices of when and where to take fights.
Well, with that, guys, that wraps up our first match of the day. It was a long one, so we're not going to have much downtime here, hopefully. But we've got 3 more games coming away. The next game will be Lai versus LGD. LGD now dropping to 2-2, while Newbee continue their undefeated run. They're 4-0. I'm LD, he's Winter, and we'll be back after a short break. You're watching The Summit 2 by G2A.com. Stay tuned.